We asked, you answered. I wanted to know your guys' favourite bargains in FM that other people haven't heard of, and we got plenty of them. Today we're going to highlight 10 of my favourites that you need to sign in your saves. Some of them are a couple million, the rest are all below £1 million. In fact, some you can get for under 100k. There'll be something for everyone. If you do enjoy, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more FM content, and let's see who some of your favourites have been. And this is why I love these kind of videos, because you find players I never would have seen before. And up first we have a fullback that you can sign for what, let's say 20,000-30,000 pounds, and you're getting someone that in my opinion is a championship quality player. Maybe not Premier League quality, but if you're in a lower division, he'd be a great pickup. He's versatile, can play left, back and right. His name is Simon Alexander Santos Lingbo. He's a Philippines international, 25 years of age, who's playing for Persik Kediri out in the Indonesian divisions. And if you go and buy him, if he happens to be in your save, I mean, you get a great player who's good technically, really good physically, and mentally is decent as well. He's got 14 crossing, which is better than what you see on a lot of players, 13 tackling. He doesn't just play left and right back, he's actually good with both feet too, so you're not going to have him struggle if he goes onto the other side of the pitch. And again, it's one I never would have found. It just proves why it's great to do these videos, because now hopefully some of you will sign him and have some great success with him. So that's one of the cheaper players today, but let's have a look at the most expensive, who's going to cost you around 5 million. You can sign him from Victoria Plzeň, a team out in the Czech Republic. May have butchered the pronunciation of the team name, I'm not too sure, but he's a Nigerian forward by the name of Rafiu Dirosinmi. Now, he is a player that looks like he's going to be perfect for FM. 6'4", 15 strength, 16 jump and reach, but he is quick as well with 15 pace. He can finish really well, great heading ability, and if you want him on a long throw, apparently he can do that too. He can hit a long shot and passes the ball nicely. If you're looking for a Premier League level forward, I think we found one here. Now, a lot of these players have only recently signed for their club. This is an example of that, so you might not get him in the first window, but come January, go in, go for him, keep a scout on these players. If any of them are any good, then it's time to make your move, because at 6'4", he will be great in the in-game engine. He's got brilliant attributes all around, and at 20 as well, I mean, what, if you give him 3 or 4 years of development, you might be looking at a striker that you can sell for 40 or 50 million, because with these kind of attributes, he'll score, and that'll raise his stocks massively. Now, so far, that's 2 of 10 players that we're going to look at today that I've really liked seeing, and I've signed some in my own saves too. So if you've got any suggestions that haven't made it in this video, get them in the comments down below. We want to keep this series going. It's one of my favourites. Obviously, it makes it easier for me in finding players, but also it highlights guys that otherwise we never would have came across, because all the different saves you lot are doing, you're finding different players out there. So get them in the comments, and if you do want to see more of me and my content, you can find it on my channel linked in the description. Over there I do weekly rebuilds, sometimes with a bit of a twist. Like recently I only signed old players. I've done one recently where ChatGPT gives me the players to sign. Plenty of good content over there in my opinion. I think the levels have gone up a lot, so if you haven't checked it out in recent times, make sure you do so. Thank you to anyone who does. But let's get back to our list, where there's another 8 players to get through yet, and I only kept it to 1 because not many of you were suggesting goalkeepers, but when a goalkeeper suggestion came up, it felt right we'd have at least one of them in the video. It's Svetslav Vutsov, who is a Bulgarian 20-year-old international goalkeeper who I have signed many a time in my own saves myself when I've done rebuilds. He's playing for Slavia Sofia out in the Bulgarian divisions, and often ends up leaving as a free agent at the end of his contract in 2025. So if you can wait for him for free, feel free, but actually you can go out and sign him for 2 mil. You get a good quality goalkeeper ready for, say, the Championship, and I have seen him grow to be one of the best in the Premier League when I've done a few saves. Sometimes he doesn't come to that, sometimes he's an average goalie at Championship level, but with the right development, he can go to the very top and can be a player worth way more than what you're going to pay from here, so that is a real bargain. But one of my favourites that's been uncovered in this video is Matthias Hansen, who's a Paderborn player at 19. Paderborn are a team in the second tier of Germany. He's a DM/centre mid that you can pick up for around 2 mil, a right-footed player with all-round attributes. At 19, he's got some very good attributes to start with in terms of having a base set where there's no major weaknesses, no major strengths. You can kind of figure out what you want from him and work him from there, but realistically, he's a good passer who tackles well. And at 6 foot with a comes deep to get the ball trait, I would want him as either a halfback or realistically deep line playmaker on the defence duty behind a 2-man midfield. I think would be an excellent role for Hansen. Now, the comment that suggested him said that he sold him on for 80 million in a few years. That tells you the kind of growth you might be able to have. I think you'd be lucky to get that regularly, but easily you are looking at a 20-30 million pound player here with the right growth. If you're in the Bundesliga needing a DM, 19 years of age, plenty of room to get better, he could be a great pick. And obviously if you're not in the Bundesliga too, if you're at Championship level, something like that, this could be be a player that you go out and can revolutionise your midfield. We've already had one good fullback in the video, how about another? This one can actually play on the wing too. It's Juan Pintado, a Uruguayan 25-year-old who plays for Gimnasia, a team out in Argentina. Now you can go out and sign him, age 25, for around, 500k maybe? 90 to 900k valuation. Let's meet in the middle and say 500k. I think you'd be getting a great player there. Even if you had to pay 900k, it is worth it. You're getting a fullback that can tackle with 12 tackling. Yes, his position needs some work, but he is absolutely brilliant technically, as you might expect with a South American defender. 14 crossing, 14 dribbling, better than many wingers might have. He's got some pace, and obviously he does have that tackling ability too. The work rate isn't bad either, so you know he's going to get up and down that line. And if you're after someone in the Premier League that could play fullback, I think he could play at that level. I know you might look at it and go, oh, he's only 2 stars, but that's being compared to other players here at Chelsea, so the likes of Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer. But if you're, I don't know, a Burnley, a Wolves, someone like that, and you need a fullback option, you'd do worse than signing someone like this for this kind of price. We're halfway through our list now, and we're going to take a look at the cheapest player today. Now, a lot of you will look at this guy and go, he looks no good, and fair enough, for your save he might not be. But if you're in the super low levels, then to get this Ghanaian 22-year-old by the name of Desmond Nketiah, I think you could do a lot worse than this player in the Portuguese leagues, because you are going to pay £10,000 for him. It really is not a lot for a player that, yes, does lack in some areas, but at a very low level, he's got physical attributes, strong, tall, and quick, and he can finish decently well. That's pretty much all you need in the lower leagues, especially those physical attributes. They will play trumps over pretty much everything else. If you're in League 2, if you're in the Vanarama National, maybe even League 1, this guy will score you goals. I can promise you that based on the attributes that I'm seeing here. The fact that he got recommended in the comments says that he's obviously done it for someone, and I think here he could be a great pick for a bargain price. You might not get better for that value. Now, this player in the comment that mentioned him was described as the perfect impact sub in FM. His name is Jessic Nagankam, who is a German 22-year-old forward on loan at Mainz from his club Frankfurt. You can sign him for about 3 million, and at 22 there's a lot of years for him to get better, the under 21 German international. But realistically, the reason he was such a good impact sub, I imagine, in game is because he is rapid. 17 pace, 15 acceleration, 15 strength as well. He has that physical profile to get in behind the defense's line and score a goal. Good mentally and technically too, but it's the physicals that will make the difference. Someone suggested him because he was a great player off the bench, and you could see why he would be as other players tire. He can come on, outmuscle them, outpace them, and score you a late goal. And I think for the fact that he's available for a few million, clearly not wanted that much by Frankfurt right now, going out on loan, and I imagine not good enough for their first team either, there's a good chance after this loan at Mainz, when he's developed a bit, you might be able to get yourself the bargain of the century. A few million quid for what will be a very good forward player in game with that pace. You don't have to use him as an impact sub, stick him as a striker, and he will score goals. But now there's 3 players left to go in this video, so if you are enjoying up to this point, make sure you smash the like button for us and subscribe to the channel too. A big thank you for all the support recently, especially with the delay. Obviously, there's less interest in the content right now, so all of you that are still turning up and pressing the like button and getting involved, it really does mean a lot. So thank you for that, but let's take a look at the final 3 players in this list. We'll go for the youngest first, definitely a work in progress player, but someone that I could see being a great option after it's been suggested by you guys. Filip Rezic. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it, but either way, he's a 17-year-old, a future player, not someone that's going to be great straight away at Legia Warsaw. A breakthrough prospect there in the Polish divisions, but you can see already there's glimpses of a good player. Now, he's not going to be perfect just yet, but he's got some nice player traits, particularly focused on his passing game, because he isn't much of a goal scorer, I will say that, but he's got 11s in his passing, decent free kicks, dribbling, first touch, tackling needs a bit of work, so he's going to be a forward-thinking midfielder, I would think. Advanced playmaker or Mezzala could be good. I think because of his lack of shooting ability, you want him in that playmaker role, and when you highlight that, you'll see he's got 11s and 12s in all areas at 17. So if you give him a bit of time, a few years of growth, by the time he's 19, 20, if he's been getting game time, and that's very important to his development, of course, then you will be seeing a totally different player. And the fact you can sign him for 500, 600k is a true bargain statement, because even if he doesn't develop that much, in a few years he'll be worth 10 million. If he develops a decent amount, you're looking at a 30, 40 million pound creator, and he's someone that many people will have overlooked. Me personally, never even saw him before, but now that I have, he'll definitely be on my radar. As will Hungarian 18-year-old international Zalan Vanska, who you can find out at Lommel over in the Belgian leagues. Now, his contract is up at the end of the first season, so you might be able to get him on a free. If you don't, you can pay around £1 million for a young striker who is good with both feet, has the holy trinity of dribbling, finishing, and first first touch at a good level, isn't the strongest, but has a bit of pace about him. And at 5'9", that's kind of the player he's going to be. He's never going to be the world's strongest man. He's never going to be good in the air. But if you can train him to try and break that opposition line, get him behind, use that pace and his finishing ability, up the composure a little bit, and you'll be looking at a forward that can definitely score at a good level. Now, Lommel aren't exactly the biggest club in the world, but they're in the Belgian divisions, so he's got a bit of European pedigree, and you can go out and sign him for about £1 million. He's already a regular starter there, so you know there is definitely some ability, but I think in a few years' time, let him develop at Lommel, get a scout on him when he's 20, 21, you'll be looking at a player that has a lot of 13s and 14s in many an area, and could actually be a great signing for that price point. If not, maybe even try and get him for free. And we finish off your picks finally with a 400k bargain striker from the Bulgarian leagues. He plays for a team called Arda Kodzali and is an under-21 international. His name is Tomislav Yordanov, and he is a forward that, again, maybe isn't the world's best, and he's not gonna be, but you're looking at a free kick and penalty taker who can finish, dribble, and has good first touch, hits a long shot, and physically is fairly well balanced. He's not exactly standout in any area, but he's got some good attributes to work from. Now, at 24, he's not exactly going to turn into a superstar in any area, really. Even at most, you might get some of these 13s to 15s, 11s to 13s. You won't be seeing him jump up massively, but still saying that, you're looking at a championship level forward here for a few hundred K. Now, if you can get him fit and firing for your team, I think he's going to do wonders in the in-game engine with that set piece ability, being either-footed as well. Maybe not either-footed quite, but decent on his left. He is going to be a big threat to anyone up against him, and for that price point, it's hard to turn down. There's obviously better strikers, but for that amount of money, maybe not. So that's the final player in today's video. 10 bargains picked out by you guys, but keep them coming in the comments, and we'll keep highlighting some of the best that we get. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your support recently, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.